Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to create your own fork and to set the upstream to our Cloud Mesh book so you guys can then make changes to your fork and sync to the book and then create pull requests. So everything I will show you will be done on the command line aside from creating the actual pull request. So the first step would be to find a place on your computer that you would like to make a home for your new fork. I have this in GitHub examples, so I'm going to make a new directory called book test. I'll then go to book test. I then need to go to Cloud Mesh Community book. I need to click fork. You can choose where to put it. I'm going to put it here. And this will take just a second. So now you have now forked Cloud Mesh Community book into your own repository. You now want to clone this. So we go back to our command line in our newly created directory. We do a git clone. And this can take a few minutes here, so bear with me. Okay, it usually takes a few minutes depending on your internet speed, but we have now successfully cloned our fork to our local machine. So when we do git pulls and git pushes, they're going to get them from the fork in our repository here. And when you commit, you will commit to your local repository, which is book one. The most important thing that we must do is set our upstream to sync with the actual Cloud Mesh book, because obviously other people will be making changes, and we need to make sure that your forked repository is then staying up to date with Cloud Mesh book, and then that your changes are also being staged properly. So the first step we will do is we will set our upstream, and that is done with a git remote add upstream command. Now it's important that we get the right URL, so we now must go to Cloud Mesh book. We then copy that URL, paste that URL here. And I apologize. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to enter book. All right. So we now set our upstream to the actual Cloud Mesh Community book. In order to pull from the Cloud Mesh Community book, we must use this command, git pull upstream master. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, look, we're already up to date because we just forked it and just cloned it, so that should make some sense. We can use git status, and this will also tell us the same thing. If we just do a git pull, we are just pulling from our fork, not the Cloud Mesh community. This is a very, very important distinction. So let's go ahead and edit a file and stage it for a commit, and then create a pull request. I'm just going to change a word here, and I'll go back and change it back. But let's say this was a spelling error that we found. Okay, now we then git status. We have modified a file. We will add this file. You must actually include the name. And then we can do a git commit -a. This will bring us to an editor that you can specify the default editor. The default is Vim right now. You can change it to Emacs. And we will leave a little message and pretending we did a spelling error. Okay, we have now added and committed this change to our local copy on our hard drive or on our computer. We now must push our changes to our fork in GitHub. And we've done that. It is also good practice to ensure right before you push that you pull from the upstream master. And I did that before, so we already knew we were up to date. But make sure all current changes have been merged into your branch prior to you pushing. And when I say other changes, I mean the changes that are coming from the upstream side. Okay, so we have now successfully changed a file, committed that file, and now pushed it to our fork. We can now create a pull request where we go back to Cloud Mesh Community Book. We go back to our book 1 in our repo. We click New Pull Request. And now you see the base repo is Cloud Mesh Community Book Master. And our repo is whatever we choose it to be. Mine is here. And we are comparing it to master. And you can actually see the staged change right here. I changed such to like. So when we create a pull request, it says spelling error. I'll create the pull request. And it's saying it's here. So if you want to then look at, we're back in Cloud Mesh Community Book, you can click on pull requests, and here is spelling error. So as a recap, you need to create a fork to your repository in GitHub, clone your fork to your computer. You can then make changes to your fork and commit them and push them back to your GitHub repository. And then when you are ready to actually create a pull request, you need to make sure that your fork is up to date with Cloud Mesh Book by using the git pull upstream command. And once you are ready for the pull request, you go to the GUI and click Create Pull Request. Thank you guys very much.